A photograph by Felix's bed. 5 faces scratched out. Your faces.
The fair Eleanor.
Truth.
Who do you think should take the test next?
No one.
You have to choose a friend, or take the test yourself. Who are you going to choose?
Fuck you!
5 seconds. 4, 3, 2.
Chris!
But I saw Felix.
Left or right, Paul?
Left.
At a lively Halloween party, 4 college students, Paul, Chris, Gemma, and Eleanor, celebrated the end of the semester. Paul excitedly shared news of a dream internship, but noticed unease in his girlfriend Eleanor, who dreaded a long-distance relationship. Luke approached with pills, which Paul refused, though Luke persisted. As the party buzzed, Felix, a shy newcomer, arrived and was instantly drawn to Gemma. Noticing Felix's shyness, Luke urged him to flirt with Gemma until he found out she was dating Chris. Still determined, Luke handed Felix a confidence-boosting pill. Emboldened, Felix approached Gemma and asked her out. She gently declined but reassured him that someone out there would value him for who he truly was. Upstairs, Paul passed out drunk just as he and Eleanor tried to get intimate, leaving her frustrated. She returned downstairs to a heated game of truth or dare. When the bottle landed on Felix, Eleanor, now running the game, asked who he'd spend the night with. Felix chose Gemma, triggering Chris, who lashed out and mocked him relentlessly. Eleanor tried to defuse the tension, insisting it was just a joke, but Chris wouldn't listen and grew more aggressive. When Felix was shoved out of the room, Chris grabbed him and threw a punch. Gemma scolded him, but he showed no remorse. Months later, the group was invited to Felix's birthday party at his family's lavish mansion. Still bitter that Felix blamed him for the breakup with Gemma, Chris arrived with Luke, while Gemma, Paul, and Eleanor came separately, hoping to move past the awkward history. Paul and Eleanor's relationship is strained. Since returning from his internship, Paul has kept his distance, leaving Eleanor anxious and unsure of his feelings. When they arrive at a grand mansion for a party, they're surprised to find it empty. A bridgekeeper directs them to the actual location, a cabin half a mile into the woods. With no road access, they set off on foot. At a puddle, Eleanor asks Paul to carry her to protect her expensive shoes. Seeing a chance to reconnect, Chris offers to carry Gemma. They were greeted by Justin, Felix's older brother, who apologized for the confusion and explained that Felix was still in Chile, possibly volunteering at a hospital. The birthday party, originally a surprise for Felix, had been canceled due to his flight being canceled. To make up for it, Justin invited everyone to stay for food and drinks, turning the gathering into a casual party. As Paul sipped a beer, Justin popped open a bottle of champagne and charmed the group into staying, sharing stories from his adventurous military life. During the conversation, Justin picked up on the tension between Chris and Gemma and casually remarked that Gemma was Felix's ideal type. Chris laughed loudly, prompting Justin to quietly question whether Chris cared for Gemma more than his own brother. His expression turned unreadable when Chris mentioned Felix's attempt to flirt with Gemma at the Halloween party. Later, Justin joined Eleanor and Gemma, pouring them champagne. Both were quickly charmed by his rugged looks and engaged in cheerful conversation, eagerly mentioning their close friendship with Felix, which put everyone at ease. Eleanor playfully touched Justin's muscles and urged Gemma to do the same. In her eagerness, she accidentally spilled champagne on him while pulling Gemma's hand. They both apologized, but Justin said nothing. Eleanor's real intention was to spark some flirtation between Gemma and Justin. Soon after, Gemma followed Justin as he went to change, and playful flirting began until Luke showed up, interrupting them. He suggested getting high with balloons, but Justin brushed it off, proposing a game of truth or dare instead to keep things fun for everyone. In the first round, the bottle landed on Eleanor, and Chris dared her to get intimate with Gemma, leading to a kiss between the two. Paul was about to joke about going on a date with Chris, but Justin quickly cut in to keep the game moving. The bottle then pointed to Gemma, and Chris asked if she still loved him. She gave a vague reply, saying she wasn't sure. When it was Justin's turn, he deliberately spun the bottle toward himself and chose truth. Justin revealed a shocking truth. Felix hadn't gone to Chile. He had hanged himself in that very cabin. At first, the group thought Justin was joking, but he insisted it was true. He explained that while he was serving in Afghanistan, Felix took his own life. When Justin returned, he found out, but the family had asked the bridgekeeper to cover it up to protect their reputation, though rumors still spread. As Justin spoke, he used homophobic slurs, heightening the tension. When Paul asked why they were there, Justin bluntly said he wanted to find out who drove Felix to suicide. The group slowly realized they had walked into a trap, and no one knew Justin was armed. Panicked, Eleanor urged Paul to leave with her, but he was too drunk to drive, leaving them all in immediate danger. Justin hands them a postcard marked Truth or Dare, with cruel words Chris had said to Felix at the Halloween party. He claims he found it in Felix's bag after the suicide and believes it may have triggered it. When Chris tries to leave, Justin blocks him. Chris swings at him, but Justin easily counters using his military training. Eleanor grabs a wine bottle to strike Justin, but he dodges and slaps her hard, knocking her down. As Paul rushes to help, Justin draws a handgun and shoots him in the leg. Gemma pleads for him to stop, but he ignores her. As Paul reaches for his phone to call the police, Justin shoots it, injuring Paul's finger and asserting control. He then orders Luke to tie up the group and collect their belongings. Reluctantly, Luke obeys and locks everything in a box. With gun in hand, Justin questions them about the postcard, but no one admits to writing it. Demanding a confession, he steps outside to let them talk, leaving Luke to stand guard. Justin questions Luke about the postcard, but Luke denies it, claiming he's just a drug dealer and a friend who tried to get closer to Felix. He urges Justin to move on, but Justin, still grieving, refuses. He brings up the Halloween party and learns that Luke sold drugs to Felix to help him build the courage to ask Gemma out. Though not condoning it, Justin lets Luke off the hook and asks who he thinks sent the postcard. Inside, tensions rise as the group argues. Eleanor and Gemma suspect Chris, pointing to his harsh words and the fact that Felix's death led to Gemma breaking up with him. Paul believes Chris is innocent and urges the group to stop arguing and focus on escaping. He tells them to keep trying to break free from the duct tape and asks Gemma to search for tools on the desk. As she reaches for something, her chair tips over, alerting Justin outside. When Justin and Luke return, Paul tries to reason with Justin, but he ignores him and spins the bottle again. This time it lands on Gemma, and he demands to know who sent the postcard. When Gemma says she doesn't know, Justin slaps her. With no other choice, Gemma accuses Chris, and the others follow suit. Chris defends himself, claiming he was in Spain when the postcard was sent from London. The group erupts in chaos as Eleanor continues accusing him, prompting Justin to fire a warning shot to silence them. The game continues, and when the bottle lands on Chris, he chooses dare. Justin decides to give him an acid test. The group pleads with Luke for help, but he ignores them. Justin inserts a tube into Gemma's throat, connecting it to two containers, one with water, the other with acid. He demands Chris choose, but Chris refuses. Justin then suggests Chris choose himself, knowing the acid is in one of the containers, reducing Gemma's chances of survival. Chris chooses the left container and luckily selects the correct one. The game continues, and when the bottle lands on Eleanor, she picks truth. Justin asks who should face the acid test next, but she protests, saying no one should. He warns her that if she refuses, she'll be the one. Reluctantly, she chooses Chris. Chris admits he sent the postcard to Felix, but Justin knows he's lying, having evidence to the contrary. Paul then speaks up, saying none of them were truly Felix's friends and that no one really liked him. He calls Felix sick and reveals he once saw Felix watching him and Eleanor together. He even insults Felix, calling him gay, which enrages Justin, leading him to make homophobic remarks. Justin forces Paul to choose Chris's acid test box, but Paul picks the wrong one. As the acid pours into Chris's mouth, he writhes in pain, blood spilling before he dies. The group screams in horror. Suddenly, a knock on the door interrupts them. Jonesy, Luke's drug supplier, has been tracking Luke's GPS and wants to join the party. Luke refuses, angering Jonesy. When Justin steps outside to deal with the situation, Jonesy hesitates, then sprays pepper spray at Justin. Justin quickly dodges and retaliates, breaking Jonesy's arm before continuing to spray him, testing Luke's loyalty. Justin hands Luke a gun and orders him to shoot Jonesy, forcing Luke into a devastating choice: aim at Jonesy or at Justin. With 3 bullets left in Justin's gun, there's a 50% chance of killing whoever Luke chooses. Justin promises to let Luke go if Jonesy survives, but if Luke shoots Justin and he survives, Justin will kill everyone else. With no other option, Luke points the gun at Jonesy, who begs for his life. Reluctantly, Luke shoots him dead. Inside, the group struggles to escape. Gemma manages to turn her chair toward the desk, but falls, quickly crawling to grab the saw. While Justin is distracted outside, Gemma frees herself and prepares to help the others. However, Eleanor insists on running immediately, leaving no time to wait. This frustrates Paul, who feels they could have escaped if Gemma had returned sooner. Eleanor realizes that with Paul's injured leg, running isn't an option. Luke, devastated by Jonesy's death, tries to return the gun to Justin, but Justin insists Luke keep it, assuring him of his trust. Despite his fear, Luke believes Justin's promise of protection, knowing the power of his family. They return inside to drag Jonesy's body in, but when Justin discovers Gemma has escaped, he storms outside to track her down. Luke feels powerless, watching Eleanor and Paul trapped with no escape. Meanwhile, Gemma reaches the mansion and finds Felix, alive but paralyzed in bed. She's numb as she watches the horrors Justin has inflicted on her friends through the monitor. Felix can't speak, but his eyes silently warn her of someone behind her. Turning around, she finds Woodbridge aiming a gun at her. He reveals he saved Felix and has been caring for him since his suicide attempt, though Felix suffered brain damage from oxygen deprivation. Gemma tries to flee but has nowhere to go, so she crawls under the bed. Woodbridge grabs her leg, but she kicks him off and, in desperation, holds a small knife to Felix's throat, taking him as a hostage. Gemma scares Woodbridge and manages to take his gun, but he ambushes her outside, leading to a violent struggle. She shoots and kills him. Back with Felix, Gemma begs for help. Felix points to the computer, but when she tries to go online, the internet cuts off, revealing Justin has tracked them. In panic, Gemma grabs a gun, but Justin catches her by the hair and drags her back to Felix's room. There, Justin grips Gemma's throat while Felix closes his eyes, refusing to watch as she's strangled. Meanwhile, in the log cabin, Eleanor pleads with Luke to spare them. But Luke, paralyzed by fear, believes Justin and his powerful family will protect him no matter what. Eleanor realizes Luke sent the postcard to Felix. Luke confesses, saying it was a spur-of-the-moment joke driven by jealousy of Felix's wealth. Meanwhile, Paul weakens from blood loss and urgently asks Luke to call for help, begging him to save his life. In a desperate attempt to get Luke closer, Eleanor pretends to crave drugs, asking him to get some. As he approaches, she bites off his finger and tries to loosen her ropes. Luke lunges at her, but she pushes him hard, causing him to slip and crash his head into a metal bar, killing him instantly. Eleanor quickly frees Paul and grabs a gun to defend herself. She helps him limp toward the door, his wound slowing them down. As they near the exit, Justin returns, pushing Felix in a wheelchair. Terrified, Eleanor shoots Justin in the shoulder, then moves to finish him off, but Justin pushes her hand, deflecting the gun. He grabs a screwdriver and tries to stab her, and they wrestle on the ground. Paul rushes to help, stabbing Justin with the screwdriver. In the chaos, Eleanor grabs an acid container and smashes it over Justin's head, knocking him out cold. When Paul regained consciousness, he found himself tied to a pole, exhausted from his injuries and longing to go home. But Eleanor wasn't done yet. She told Paul to get in the car and wait while she spoke to the two brothers. Reluctantly, Paul crawled into Justin's car and saw Gemma's lifeless body. Eleanor entered the house and told Felix they were going to play truth or dare, aware of the real reason behind his suicide attempt. She instructed Felix to look directly at Justin, the person he feared most, and began revealing the truth. Eleanor revealed that, after her father's bankruptcy, she sought help from Felix's family, which led to their affair. She had recorded their intimate moments to blackmail him. But that wasn't enough. Eleanor also convinced Felix to be intimate with Paul while he was unconscious, later replaying the scene at the Christmas party. Felix feared his brother, Justin, discovering the video, especially since Justin had always discriminated against homosexuals, leading to Felix's suicide attempt. The truth exposed, Eleanor handed Felix a grenade, pinned it to his finger, and walked out to her car. Felix took his life by detonating the grenade Eleanor gave him, causing the house to explode. The film ends with Eleanor driving away in tears, the bodies of Paul and Gemma beside her. Truth or Dare is a gripping horror film with thought-provoking themes, sparking reflection on relationships, views on homosexuality, and life's hidden dangers. Thank you for joining us. If you enjoyed the film, like and subscribe for more exciting content. See you in the next video.